Hi, this is a video lesson to show you a little bit about Thinktech Solutions and the Thinktech tools. Specifically, this video is going to review the teacher landing page or the dashboard that you see right here on the screen. And we'll talk about a couple of the apps that to get you started. So let's go ahead and take a look at the teacher dashboard. The top part of the screen is going to show you a title bar, and this indicates that I'm in my library. I could toggle over to the public library, which I'll showcase in a future video, but then also just my lessons, obviously. And if I skip all the way down to the bottom, you'll see where I have my lessons listed in folders and on different cards. But I can make the choice between the public library or my lessons. The second part of the dashboard is going to show me the different apps that comes with Thinktech Solutions. Sort It, which is a categorization tool where kids have to categorize like terms or maybe cause and effect, pros and cons, and so forth. Check It is a free response question, kind of like a ticket out the door, where you pose a question or a prompt, you give a picture, and the students can text in their responses. Think It is a word cloud app where when you have a question or a prompt to get the kids to respond to what they are thinking about, with the words that are duplicated, you'll see that it comes back as a larger response in a word cloud. It's a really neat interactive tool that engages kids pretty quickly. Speak It is a tool that allows kids to record their voice so that the teacher can hear them narrating, reading a passage, practicing problem solving, and so forth. That will record audio and send it back to the teacher. A Pollet is just what it is. It's taking a survey of different things where you can obviously collect and create data on the spot. It's great for things like agree or disagree or which one is the most popular. Sketch It is a great tool to illustrate different things. Wonderful for math class or just for drawing little items about, for vocabulary extension and so forth. Graffiti boards are a great use with Sketch It. And you could even draw on top of pictures that you provide the students. So if you had a map or an illustration and you wanted them to annotate different things, that works really well for that. And Quizlet is a typical assessment tool that has multiple choice, sequencing, matching, and true-false questions. So if I wanted to create a question, just a singleton question, I can click on any one of these that I thought the question might be like or be best suited, and I could write a question. So let's see how that works. I'm going to click on Check It. Probably the easiest type of question that I can do in a demonstration here. But if you get the hang of this, you'll see that it's pretty consistent through all the different apps that Thinktech has. So for now, I'm just going to call this a video lesson demo. And I'll just leave my subject as professional development, and we'll do this from grades K through 12. I can provide a description if I wanted to, or I can copy and paste it from a lesson plan that I might already have. I could add an image that would act as cover art for my lesson, for my cards as I look at them later on my library. And I can even delete the lesson if I no longer need it. For now, I'm just going to go over into the creation palette, and you can see that I am in a Check It. And if I click on the settings wheel, this will get me back to where I was with the title, and I can even give it a little bit more detail with it being an anticipatory set, guided practice, independent practice, assessment, and so on. So I'll just leave it like that for now. If I type in some information, I could do a couple things with this. I can, just all the usual suspects are here. I could highlight different things the way I might want with the font size. I can make it bold, italics. I could change the color, of course, and maybe even give it a background color. Here's a neat tool. I could add audio. A lot of times teachers like to do that, especially in your distance learning situations that you want to add some extra instruction for your students. Some teachers might just read the question as it were just a narration. But in this case, I could press the record button, offer up to 2 minutes of different background context, and offer that to my students. So if I click on this one time, hi everyone, this is a Check It question. If you could type in some information, that would be great. Good luck. And if I was happy with that 8-second recording, I could leave it, and when I launch the lesson, the students would be able to click on that and hear my voice offering some instruction. If I didn't like that, I could press the record button again and it would do a take two. It would eliminate all this and I can record my voice from scratch all over again. A few other things that I could do is I could also insert a PDF from my local hard drive. I could add an image. I can add a YouTube video, and I could even add in some different math equations that is pretty neat, making it a little bit easier to type in and give some things. So if you're a math teacher, you might want to check out some of those, some different math functions. That might be real helpful for you too. For now, I'll just go ahead and click on the image where I can show you that I can upload my own image, or I can even access a copyright-free library from Thinktech. So if I just type in something like, I don't know, the word question, let's see what comes up, and a variety of copyright-free, this is from Upsplash, that might work perfect. And assuming that that's something that maybe I want, I can click into that, it'll populate into my screen, and the kids will be able to see it as the question appears. So that's just the basic way to create a question, and if I click on the orange start button, the kids will be able to work that. But before I show you that, let me just also point out, if I click the publish button, that would send this question to the public library, where then other teachers in the Thinktech community could search for that and find it and be able to use it, or they could download it for themselves and be able to edit it and use it in their own way. There's also this share button here. So if you have an enterprise license with a school district, different people from your grade level or your department members, if you wanted to share with them this lesson that you're creating, and you could see all the different people in my enterprise district will pop up that way, and I can click on each of those names, and they would get an alert automatically from Thinktech saying that a lesson has been shared with them, and maybe they want to check it out. So for now, here is a check it question where I could launch it, and let's see how that looks. So the students would get this code. Let me just click on the plus button. So if my students were walking into my classroom, maybe I have this up on my projector. If I'm teaching remotely, maybe I have that as my prompt as students are logging into my Google Meet or my Zoom lesson, and they'll know right away to open up a tab, join.thinktechsolutions.org. They would type in the code, in this case from 54, and they would be logged into my lesson. And then they could begin to work on that lesson as I'm waiting for the other students to log in or to enter my classroom in a traditional setting. But you'll see here that as students are submitting their responses, I would begin to get a stack of responses here on the right-hand side of the screen, my audio recording that I had from before. But I could toggle some of these things off. I could hide the question and allow for a larger space for me to review the students' work. I could hide the responses so that if it was up on the projector, I can kind of just keep those things hidden for a little bit. And I could hide the names too. So right now, obviously no one is logged into this, but I can toggle that back and forth. If I'm moving along, I could even add a task or a pause point and even get some feedback from the students. I could hide the teacher toolbar as well, and it gives me just a little bit more of the screen. So again, this video session was to show you how to create a task using the quick launch and being able to show you the teacher dashboard. So I had called that video lesson demo. You could see that it is live. You could see the badge pulsing, showing that that is still a live lesson. And I have my different folders that I could nest that lesson in. So let's say that I wanted to take this video lesson and drop it in my summer 2020 folder. It will appear in there. I'll double click on it, and there's the lesson for me to be able to use. So that's pretty much how Thinktech is set up and how you can go ahead and get started.